Beau Billington here, founder of The Free Agent. Thanks very much for joining the podcast. This is a lightning round. Today, we're really going to, focus on customer success and what that is. And actually have Maurice Hofmann here, who's somebody I've known for quite some time, and somebody I would consider a resident expert as it pertains to customer success. So thanks so much for joining, Maurice. Most appreciated.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, prior to jumping into things, let's just give a quick bio. I can start and we'll go from there. But
Okay.
as mentioned, the name's Beau Billington. I founded The Free Agent a little over 3 years ago, and we provide full-time, fractional, and interim support as it pertains to executives. And we work directly with high-growth tech companies with revenues 10 million to 200 million, and really help them as it pertains to sales, marketing, as well as technology. Being as it may that customer success falls within that marketing bucket, wanted to have Maurice on here as the very first podcast or video podcast, I should say, attendant in order to kind of give us a rundown of what customer success is and why it's important. Prior to that, though, Maurice, tell us a little bit about yourself.
First of all, thanks for having me in this podcast and being your first guest. I'm really looking forward to when we're going to do a reunite for the 1,000th podcast, and when we have
exactly.
a really, really successful series going,
yeah.
so that we can kind of remember how we started it back in 2020 when we all work from home. My name is Maurice Hofmann. I've been doing marketing and customer success for quite a while. I started it with my current company, Open Exchange, about 8 years ago, and done marketing for a bit longer than that. But I don't want to date myself here right now.
Don't be modest. Rumor has it you have a book that you've been working on for some time in regards to marketing. Maybe you can just give us a quick elevator pitch on that prior to jumping into everything.
That's true. Much as you're gonna hear and see later during this podcast, is I'm very pragmatic when it comes to marketing, customer success, and so on. I want to make it easy for the audience to understand what needs to be done and find a very easy way to get there. That's what the marketing book is about. Launching your product or your company, or if you start in a marketing team and you don't really have the knowledge, I think it's a really hands-on workbook for you guys to get there in terms of the marketing knowledge and the different steps.
Absolutely. Well, I can't wait to get my signed copy and to have you back on the podcast during my 1,000th to kind of discuss all the success and riches from the book. So congratulations on that. I know it's a big endeavor.
Thank you.
So let's go ahead and jump into things here. So customer success, to me, it's synonymous with technology and SaaS providers, companies that are growing rapidly. And quite frankly, it's become quite the buzzword here lately. And so, instead of me giving kind of what my definition is or what I think that it is, I'd love to hear from you in regards to kind of what is customer success, from your perspective.
Yeah, before I jump into the definition, what I like to say is customer success is for everybody that has a customer, right? Because it's about making the customer successful and happy with the product or the service that they purchase from you. So that's already leaning into the definition, right? It's customer success is a nomen est omen, to showcase my little bit of Latin here. It is about making sure that your customers get exactly out of your product and your service that they were looking for, right? That they achieve their desired outcome. In a short description.
Yeah, that's great. So who does it truly benefit? To me, when I think of customer success and it being an initiative that's catching on like wildfire, at the end of the day, it's really going to benefit the company, right? I mean, at least that's what one would assume. But then the flip side is that maybe the customer actually gets a better experience as a result. What says you?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, the customer or the user definitely gets a much better experience because of the company that he or she gets the product from is engaged with customer success and has a well-working program, because its support will be much better, other opportunities will be presented much better. But overall, as you said, it's definitely going to benefit the company, because at the end of the day, the customer or the user can go anywhere and get the same kind of services from another provider. Right. However, you need all the customers that there are, and especially in a social media environment where you have recommendations and so on. You want to make sure that you don't lose a disgruntled customer that then goes out and takes it to social media, to all of your channels that you have there, and
Appreciate it.
lets everybody else know how bad your service was. So yeah, customer success is definitely about the company, but it aids the customer.
Basically, if you can ensure a customer's success, then they're less
Yeah.
likely to berate you on the internet, right?
Exactly, and they come
Understood. Back. Yeah, 100%. That's the name of the game. So why, why should a company deploy such a program, and more importantly, like when is an opportune time for a company to decide, all right, now we need to focus on customer success because we have X amount of companies or customers? What does that look like?
Yeah, so as for the why, it's two things. On the one side, it's the customer satisfaction, right? Because the satisfied customer comes back, and then the other side, it's additional revenue. It's increasing your share of wallet, increasing the revenue, and keeping customers as a returning buyers. Because as we all know in marketing 101, keeping a customer is less expensive than winning a new one. So let's keep the customers that we already have and make more revenue with them. And they bring in new customers as well. And then when is the point that you should launch a customer success department? And that is as soon as you're at the crossroads where the people that are in the company cannot do it themselves anymore, right? While you do need to have a customer success mindset, and this is a little block to my blog that I already have with you, right? The entire company needs to have that, but still there's a point where either the support requests kind of take overhand, or where you don't get all the revenue out of the existing customer base that you have that you'd like to, when you think that there's opportunity costs that you're having for not having a customer success manager there. So that's the point where you start engaging with it.
Got it. So basically when dollars or money is walking out the door as a result to not kind of taking care of your customers, that's when you should really kind of do an audit and consider such a program, correct?
Exactly. That's exactly right. Yeah.
Excellent. So last question, we'll kind of jump to the conclusion here, but what's the initial step in a brief outline of potentially building out a program? What does somebody need to do? What's the first step? What's the blocking and tackling that needs to be done first?
Yeah, that's not quite a one-size-fits-all solution to this. So if you're a smaller company, you may want to be careful with your investments, and you get somebody that can cover both sides, the support and customer care side, as well as the revenue side. If you are a bigger company, you want to have a well-versed manager first that then can go ahead and build out your program, right? So there's a bit of a difference in approach. For both sides, however, it may make sense to get an expert and hire an expert for a limited amount of time. And the free agent has many of those, right? Where you can get outside consulting, and have a quick analysis of what is your situation, what is the best step, where's your immediate needs, so that you can then make the right hire for the long term.
That's interesting. And of course, I appreciate the plug for my company. And I think what really, we need to distill from that point, though, is that not a one size fits all. And if you're a very, very large company, maybe you have more funds to deploy a proper program. But if you're a smaller company, there's other options and ways that you could essentially tackle the need of customer success. Creating a strategy, still rolling out a program, even if it's on a smaller scale than the company with much larger funds.
Exactly. And at the beginning, depending on how many customers you have, if you have that specialist, right, that's come in, that person can already provide you so much training on what you first need to do, that you may be safe for another half a year or a year before you need to hire somebody, right? And then make the experience yourself to really develop a good understanding of what your needs will be for the first hire. So, yeah.
That's great. So in conclusion, really appreciate you taking the time here. I feel like I have a better grasp on what customer success is and when to essentially bring in an expert. But ultimately, it seems like it doesn't matter if it's technology, if it's retail, any vertical, any industry could benefit from customer success. And really the impetus for bringing on a customer success expert would be at the point that, money's walking out the door, customers are walking out the door, you're unable to effectively manage your customer relationship, and they're essentially leaving you to go find the same product, solution, et cetera, at a competitor. And that's a time to kind of take a look and reevaluate your business model and maybe kind of construct a customer success plan.
Exactly. And then give Beau a call, and he will have the right people for you to
Awesome,
help you along
Maurice.
with the first steps.
Yeah. Well, hey, I really appreciate you taking the time. And of course, best of luck with the book. That's super exciting.
Thank you very much.
Love to have you back on whenever that's done, just to kind of talk about the book, where the inspiration came from, et cetera. But really appreciate you taking the time, and look forward to staying in touch, of course.
Thank you so much for having me, and good luck with your podcast series.
Thanks, Maurice.
All right. Thank you. Bye-bye.